Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Victor and welcome to my YouTube page, which is all about helping people navigate their spiritual awakening process. And today's video is going to go over 3 different sources of social anxiety. And social anxiety is incredibly common in people who are going through the awakening process. Many of my subscribers have confessed to me that they experience it, they want to know how to deal with it, and I have overcome my once severe social anxiety, and today I'm going to tell you 3 different reasons why you have it, which probably will surprise you, and also let you know that in understanding the sources of it, then you can start to really get rid of it on a permanent basis. The first source I'm going to discuss is you are oftentimes, because you're so sensitive to energies of people, places, things, and within yourself, you are actually feeling other people's anxiety. Most normal people are incredibly anxious. They are filled with a ton of anxiety, basically. So anytime you go into a public place or among your group of friends or your family, you're sensing all these people's own energetic states, and it can feel like it's your own. You're all basically immersed in each other's aura. And again, most normal people, including us, people going through the awakening process, still have quite a bit of baggage, if you haven't noticed, within yourself. And we're all just immersed in each other's aura bubbles, which is oftentimes, again, contained with anxiety and lots of it. So if someone is feeling very nervous, again, it can feel like, why you feel like I'm nervous. You go, why am I nervous? It's because everyone else is nervous and you're just feeling it so intensely. You can feel it and it feels like it's your own. That's kind of what empathy is, and empathic people do. They feel other people's emotions and energetic states as if it's their own. And especially growing up, it is very confusing. And even now that you're aware of it, you're going to still find it maybe in the beginning kind of difficult to detach. But knowing that, you can say, why? You know, the way out of this is like you start asking, why do I feel anxious? And then you start to really tune into the question why, and then oftentimes you can say, well, it's this dude I'm sitting next to that feels anxious. I had this happen to me just 2 nights ago. I was playing hockey with some friends, and it was really people I didn't know. It was my one friend. I went and played hockey with these guys, and there's this one guy who really had like a hard-on for me, man. I triggered the crap out of him. He was real bothered by me and just real acting kind of funny around me. And at one point he sat down and was talking to me. And I was like, dude, I felt like, man, why are you so nervous, Vic? I was like fumbling my words, but then I kind of like looked at him more closely, and I realized this guy is super fucking nervous. He's like ridiculously anxious and nervous, and it's like, it was kind of like affecting me. So be on the lookout for that. Number 2, and this is somewhat related to this, is you absorb, because as children you're so open. As a child, you absorb your parents and other people who grew up around you. You absorb their energetic states of anxiety, and you take it on as your own. You become identified with it, and you assume that it's your anxiety, your energetic state of being, when in fact it's not yours. It's never been yours, but you didn't know any better. Again, it's kind of confusing because you were probably born quite sensitive. You just kind of, it became a normal state of being to you because you lived in the same house, you lived with these same people, and you always sat in this energy. So even as you left the house, went off to college, went off wherever, it becomes a habit of embodying this particular energetic state of anxiety. And in understanding that, then you can start to question yourself. Why? When provoked, because sometimes you might notice that your energetic, your anxiety is provoked more than others, and when it kind of really flares up, say, why do I feel this way? Where's the source of this? Who do I know that feels this way? You'll start to see it. You'll start to see it in your parents when you visit them, your friends, or people you grew up with. You'll start to see your own emotional states, your anxiety states. You'll start to see it in other people. I can't explain it much better than that. It's the best way I can describe it. You will actually see it visually. You will just sense it. It'll become very obvious to you. What was once completely like you're unable to perceive something, you'll just be able to perceive it in a very deep way. Another thing, number 3, is random little, what seem like small little childhood incidents can oftentimes have a very big impact on you because there's an emotional surge, an emotional reaction to even, perhaps in retrospect, not a very big event to you, yet it affected you emotionally, and then you just kind of carried on that emotional state with you. Maybe not at all times. You might find that emotional state gets triggered in maybe similar situations. For example, I'll give you a couple of my own to kind of give an idea of what I'm talking about. When I was a little kid, I don't know, I must have been like 8, 9 years old or something. And sorry ladies, but I was taking a piss in the bathroom, and I had like my pants all the way down. Like, I know my dad never taught me to like just pull it down a little bit. And one of my friends said, "What the hell are you doing? Like, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know, I'm peeing." He said, "Why don't you pee like a man?" I thought, oh shit, I don't know. I got all like, I didn't think much of it, but I felt kind of embarrassed. And then I was like pee shy for a long time in my life. I felt like I'd clam up. I couldn't piss, especially when put on the spot. I mentioned I was a drug addict, and I was in many different situations throughout my life. I was like drug tested. And I always had this issue where I was like, and they thought I was lying. Like, you're bullshit, you can't pee. Come on, do it. And they had to watch me. So there's so many times I was like faced with this pee anxiety. That's just one little silly example, obviously, but you kind of get where I'm going with this. These small little things you'll start to become aware of. As you awaken, as your consciousness expands, you start to put all the pieces together. And you just have these little mini epiphanies. I realized this not too long ago about the pee shy thing. It's like, oh wow, that's why. Because I find myself having that situation where I'm like, why is it a struggle for you to take a piss, dude? And I just thought about it. It just came to me. You're gonna find if you just start inquiring and asking yourself why, you now have access to the answers. They've always been there, but floating around in your deep unconsciousness. But all your deep unconsciousness is becoming conscious. And it's surprisingly easy to have these little like realizations as you just simply inquire. But that takes a very essential shift, rather than being, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm feeling this. This is so embarrassing. I hate this. This is ridiculous. This sucks. You get into your little victim mentality. That does you no good. It brings it on even more. Just change it and say why. And then your energy shifts into a new direction in alignment with solutions. Quickly, I want to go over why people who are awakening tend to experience a ton of anxiety. I felt it to the extreme. I could tell, even at a young age, that other people did not feel as anxious as me, that they were not feeling the emotions as intensely as I was, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate. And that's because people who are on the verge of awakening, on the verge of enlightenment, become more aware of anxiety. Other people have anxiety, perhaps even more so than you, but they're just so unaware of it. They've learned to just accept it as who they are. They don't even question it. So to them, their anxiety is their natural state of being. But as you awaken, you get these little glimpses of where that anxiety is like temporarily gone, and you're like, oh my God, I'm suddenly so awesome and articulate and well-spoken, and I feel so great. You feel absent of all that anxiety, and then it comes back, and you feel like screwed over. You feel like that awesome state of clarity has just been ruthlessly stripped away from you, and you're left back in your like uncomfortable anxiety. And just because you're not done dealing with it yet. But again, it's just you're more aware of your anxiety, and that's a good thing. That's a blessing. Your anxiety is providing you with little clues as to energetic misalignments within your consciousness, which are preventing you from raising your vibration to its fullest potential and awakening fully, which is all what you want to do. Because once you awaken fully, once you achieve alignment consistently, there is no anxiety. Your soul does not experience anxiety ever. You do. Your false self does. So allow yourself to use your anxiety as the messenger that it is.